Hi guys, and welcome back to a new video. In today's video, I will be talking once again about the Collector's Bounty event, and this time I will provide you with a very detailed guide on how to get all the different mounts from the dungeons and raids before Dragonflight during the event, and I will really share my experience, all the different tips, and what is the fastest way for you to get all these different mounts during the month of July. Also, if you want to learn more about all the rare transmog items that you will be able to get during the month of July, I made a separate list, so I will share the link in the description. Let's start with some of the basics. First of all, I would really recommend you to use the simple Armory website in order to track all the mounts that you're missing. So here, as you can see, you will be able to go there and you can then click on Dungeon and you will be able to see from each expansion which are the mounts that you will be able to get from the dungeons and also from the raids, and which ones you are missing. When you're missing a mount, it's grayed out, and so like that you will know exactly which mounts you need to target. And also here you can use their planner tool, so basically you will be able to click like that and it will tell you exactly what to do. The only thing is that here it will include all the mounts from the game, so also all the normal mounts that are dropping outside of dungeons and raids, and also the mounts from Dragonflight and the War Within. So again, it might not be the most efficient thing to do, but it can maybe help you get a little bit of motivation to farm all these mounts. Here, you also want to use two things. First of all, you want to use the different food buff that will help you to go faster inside of the different raids and dungeons. So here, normally, you can either use the one from the War Within, which is the Exquisitely Eviscerated Muscle, which will grant you 582 speed for 1 hour. And you also have the Bear Tartar, which will grant you a speed buff each time you kill an enemy inside of the dungeons or raids. So you can choose either of those, and these are going to be very useful when you have to run the dungeons and raids again and again. Next to that, you also want to use these different enchants on your main characters you will use in order to farm all these different mounts faster. Again, they will increase your speed. And finally, you can also go on the auction house and try to find some pieces of gear from the auction house that have some speed on them. So for instance, sometimes you will have some that will have this extra speed and you can just buy them from the auction house. Here I would recommend you to go on the Hyper Realm. Like that, again, you will go way faster when farming all these different mounts. Another thing important for you to consider is to use obviously all your different arts in order to farm these different mounts as fast as possible. And here, if you can, try to use some classes that really go fast inside of raids and dungeons, such as Druids, Rogues, or you have other classes, and again, hopefully like that it will make it faster for you. Now, another category of items that I really want to insist on are all the different Earthstones, all the different teleport items, and all these type of things you can use in order to go fast from one point to another. So here, for instance, the two main ones are of course the Dalaran Earthstone and the Garrison Earthstone. With the Garrison Earthstone, you can then go in your garrison to go back to the main city of Warhorse, and then inside you will be able to find another portal to Orgrimmar or Stormwind. Next to that, one item that you really want to have with you is the Cloak of Coronation, and here you can have multiple of these different cloaks, so you can have a blue version and an epic version, and these will teleport you back to Orgrimmar, which is very useful as well. Another very important category of items, but here it will be limited to engineers, but these are all the different wormholes. So some of them are random, but some of them you will be able to actually choose where you go. So let's say, for instance, right now you are farming the mount from Ulduar, Mimiron's head. You will be able to go here. You want to go in the Storm Peaks. And as you can see with this, in just 1 second, you are in front of the raid. And so this is something that then you can use on any of your characters. The one thing that is good is that most of them only require you to have one of engineering. So it means that you can literally just go on your alts, pick up engineering with the different expansions that these toys are linked to, buy them from the auction house. All these different toys are things you can buy from the auction house, and then use them on all these different characters. Because again, here you can then go really fast from one point to another using these different toys. And even though some of them are random, it will usually make it a little bit easier for you to go from one point to another. Another item you might want to pick up is the Ring of the Kirintor. So as you can see, you want to come right here in the Dalaran, city, the version from Wrath of the Lich King, and from Harold Winston you will be able to buy this ring for 6,800 gold, and then teleports the caster to Dalaran, and it has a 30 minutes cooldown. And with that, as you can see, you will also get an achievement, and so then this is really something you will be able to use every 30 minutes to go back. So let's say, for instance, you are farming ICC, you're farming Ulduar, you're farming some of the different dungeons from the War for the Lich King expansion. This is going to be very useful. And remember that each of these different main capitals will usually have one portal, then to Stormwind or to Orgrimmar. So for instance, even if you don't need to go in Wrath of the Lich King in Northrend, you can use the ring to go to Dalaran and then use that to go to the portal to Orgrimmar. And from Orgrimmar, you have access to all the other portals, same with your Garrison and Ashran. So this is really something super useful to keep in mind. You also have the Potion of Deepholm. So these ones, as you can see, will teleport you to Deepholm. It is instant and it has a 5 minutes cooldown. And the reason why it might be useful is because right there in Deepholm, you will have the Stonecore dungeon. And inside of the Stonecore dungeon, you will be able to get this mount, the Reigns of the Vitreous Stonedrake. So it might be useful if you don't have this mount yet. In the center of Dalaran, the Legion version, you want to go inside of this portrait room. And here you want to go down to the end of the portrait room. And as you can see, you will normally have different portals, including the Wyrm's Temple. And also you have the Karazhan portal. So this one is definitely going to be useful if you are farming the different mounts from Karazhan, both the raid version and also the mythic dungeon from Legion. And so just something for you to remember, especially because again, with your Dalaran Hearthstone toy, you can easily go to Dalaran and then you will be right there. Of course, don't forget to use all the portals that are in the portal rooms in your main cities, so Orgrimmar and Stormwind. So here you will have the portal to Dalaran, the version from Wrath of the Lich King, the portal to the Jade Forest to go to Mists of Pandaria, the portal to Zuldazar from BFA, the portal to Azuna for Legion, the portal to Oribos for Shadowlands, and then downstairs for Horde players, you will also have a few more interesting portals. So as you can see, you will have, of course, Shatrat right here for the Burning Crusade, and then the Caverns of Time, which might be useful for a few of them, and finally Ashran for Wildjourneyer. Another thing that I might recommend you to do is to simply change your Hearthstone to make it so you can go back easily to either Stormwind or Orgrimmar, especially if you're playing on an alt and you don't really care to go, for instance, to Undermine or Dornogal. Another important thing for you to remember is that some mounts will drop from the LFR version of the raid, so make sure to always do this in addition to the main raid, because it is extremely easy and you will still have a chance at actually getting the mounts. So for Shadowlands, the mob will be located right here in Oribos, and you want to click on the Jailer's Vanguard. For battle, for Azeroth, for Horde player, it will be right here inside of the main building. As you can see, you will be able to talk to Epu right here. And here you want to join the victory or death part of the raid, and you will have to kill the 3 last bosses. For Alliance players, it will be located right here. And for Legion, it will be located right here inside of Dalaran. For Legion, the main person will be located right here in Dalaran, the Legion version. So here, if you want to do the one from the Tomb of Sargeras, you will need to click on the Gates of Hell. And if you want to do the one from Antorus, you will need to click on Lightsbridge. My last tip is, because we know we're gonna get Legion Remix very soon, maybe you want to prioritize all the different mounts from other expansions, because most likely you will be able to buy all the different dungeons and raid mounts from Legion during the Legion Remix event, similar to Mist of Pandaria Remix. Okay, so first let's start with the different mounts from Classico. Here we will have the different Ahn Qiraj Mounts. So as you can see, you want to go in your portal room and you want to make your way to Battle for Azeroth. And inside the portal room from the main city, so either Horde or Alliance players, you will be able to go directly, as you can see, to Silitus. And so then you just want to make your way to the Temple of Ahn Qiraj, which is located right here. And really all you have to do is to go inside of the raid, and here you just want to gather all the different trash mobs that are at the entrance, and you just want to kill all these different trash mobs, and most likely you will be able like that to get some of the different mounts that will drop from the raid. So as you can see, you can then just loot, and just like that you will get most of these different mounts, and then if you want you can just go outside and restart, or you can also of course just continue the raid. And so here again, these are the different mounts you will be able to get. The blue Qiraj battle tank, the green one, the red one, which will come with an achievement as well, and finally the yellow one. Then for the Rivendare's Deathcharger, you want to make your way right here in the Eastern Plaguelands, and so here you will be able to go to the dungeon. For all players, the easiest is probably to use the portal to Undercity, which is located in Orgrimmar, where there are all the different zeppelins. And then from here, you can easily just fly to the entrance of the dungeon. And for Alliance players, probably the easiest is going to be to just go to the Twilight Islands. You can use the different portals from Cataclysm Wood that are located in the middle of Stormwind on the little island. And like that, you will be able to fly with your dragon riding mount to the entrance of the dungeon. Here, the only little thing that you need to remember is that you want to enter through the East Wall gate right here, not the main gate, because otherwise you will go in the new version of the dungeon and you won't be able to kill the last boss, Baron Rivendare, who is the one dropping the mount. So here, as you can see, once you enter, you will be in this dungeon, the service entrance, and you want to go at the end and kill Lord Horus Rivendare. Then for Onyxia, so here it will drop from Onyxia, and this is the version from Wrath of the Lich King. You will be able to get the Onyxian Drake, which is this really cool mount right here. So the easiest way to go to the Onyxia's lair is to take the portal to the Caverns of Time inside of the main portal rooms in the capital cities. And as soon as you are there, you want to make your way, as you can see, to this part of the map, the Dustswallow Marsh, and here the entrance of the raid will be right there. Then for the different mounts from Karazhan, as I already explained, what you want to do is use your Dalaran Earthstone, then you want to go in the center of the city, and here in the portraits room you want to take the portal to Karazhan. And then for the raid version, you will be able to go right inside of the raid using the main entrance, and here the boss that will drop the mount is Atumen the Huntsman, and as you can see, he will be right there. So again, he will have a chance at dropping the Fiery Warhorse Reins. But then you also have the mythic version of the dungeon. So here, as you can see, you just want to go on the side, and here you will have this Karazhan side entrance. And so you want to make sure to enter with the dungeon set on mythic difficulty. So in this dungeon, you will be able to get two mounts. From Atumen the Huntsman, you will have this upgraded version of Midnight. And then you will also have this overmount right here, which is basically from a secret boss. And the way you obtain this mount is pretty straightforward. Then for the Ashes of Alar mount that will drop from Kael'thas inside of the Eye, the raid from the Burning Crusade, you will need to go to Shattrath. So here you want to use the main portal in the main portal rooms in Orgrimmar and Stormwind. And then from there you just want to fly to the Neverstorm. And remember, the entrance of the raid will be in this flying citadel right here. In Shattrath, you will also be able to go in this part of the main area, and you will be able to click on the portal to the Isle of Keldanas. And once you're here, as you can see, you will be able to directly go to the entrance of the Magister's Terrace. And the reason why you want to go there is because in the Magister's Terrace, on Eric difficulty, you will have a chance at getting the Swift White Hawkstrider from Kael'thas, which is the last boss. So just make sure to go right here. Then when you're in Shattrath City, you also want to just use your mount to go in Oshidun, that part of the Terokar forest, as you can see. And here you want to enter the dungeon, the Setek Hall. So this is the one that is located right here. And the reason why you want to go in this specific dungeon is because you will be able to get the reins of the Raven Lord from Ensu, which is the second boss. Then after that, we have the two mounts from the Eye of Eternity, which is the Azure Drake and the Blue Drake. So this is a raid where there is only one boss, Maligos. And as you can see, these mounts will drop in both 10 and 25 normal modes. So I would recommend you to do it in 25 normal mode. So here again, probably the easiest is to use your Ring of the Clearancer to go to Dalaran. And then from there, you just want to fly right here in the Borean Tundra, and you will be able to find the entrance to the Eye of Eternity right here. Make sure to enter the raid and not the 2 other dungeons that are located right there as well. Then for Mimiron's Head from Ulduar, here again, the easiest way for me to go there is to use the Wormhole Generator Northrend and to pick up the main zone where this raid is located, so the Storm Peaks. Like that, you will be teleported right in front of the raid. If that's not the case, just go again from Dalaran to this part of the map. And here you want to go in the big one because you have 2 dungeons next to it. And like that, you will be able to enter the raid. And here, you don't have to kill all the bosses in order to go to Yogg-Saron, which is the last boss. So you need to kill the Flame Leviathan. Then you need to kill the XT002 Deconstructor. Then you need to kill Kolorgarn. You need to also kill Oraya, Odir, Torim, Freya, Mimiron, General Vesax, and finally Yogg-Saron. And make sure to not talk to any of the friendly bosses that will appear at some point because you need to do it in hard mode in order for you to have a chance at getting the mount from this boss right here. Then for Invincible, you will need to go to the Icecrown Citadel. So here from Dalaran, it's actually very easy. You just want to fly directly right here in the Icecrown Citadel. So you want to enter and you will be able to directly find the entrance to the race. You want to go through that direction. And for this one, you really want to make sure to be in 25-man Heroic because otherwise, as you can see, this mount is not going to drop. Then for the Graham Black War Mammoth, for this one, you will need again from Dalaran to go to the Winter Grass part of Northrend. And here you will actually need to be in control of the zone in order to access the Vault of Arcavan. If you are, for instance, playing on a whole character and right now this zone is being held by the Alliance, you won't be able to access the raid. So you just need to wait for your faction to hold the zone. And then you just want to enter the main building and here you will be able to go inside of the raid. And when you are in the raid, remember that each of the different bosses will have a chance at dropping the mount, so you really want to make sure to kill all 4 of them. Then we also have the blue Proto-Drake from the Utgard Pinnacle dungeon. So here it will drop from Skadi the Ruthless, the 3rd boss. In order to go to this dungeon, you will need again from Dalaran to go to the Orin Ford, and here you want to go to the Utgard Keep, and here you really want to make sure to enter the right dungeon, the Utgard Pinnacle and not the Utgard Keep, because otherwise you won't be killing the right bosses. For the different mounts from Cataclysm WoW, most of the portals you will need will be located right here for Horde players in Orgrimmar, and then for Alliance players it will be right here in Stormwind City. First, for the 2 mounts from Firelands, so here we have the Flame Talon of Alistrazur that will drop from Alistrazur, and then we also have the Smoldering Egg of Nilgazor that will drop from Ragnaros. You will need to take the portal to Ijal. And then once you're there, you just want to make your way to the entrance of the raid, which is located right here, Firelands. You can do this in normal or heroic difficulty, the mounts will still have a chance to drop. And here you can actually only kill these 2 bosses, so there is a way to skip directly from Alistrazur to Ragnaros. So as you can see, all you have to do really is to go where Alistrazur is located inside of the raid. And then you just want to kill Alistrazur and you want to make sure to wait for him to spawn some of the feathers on the ground. And then you want to pick up the different feathers just before he dies. And as soon as you picked up 3 of the feathers, you will be projected into the air. Then you just want to kill very quickly Alistrazur. And then you want to fly to the other platform where there is this other boss right here, the Majordomo Staghelm. And then like that, you will be able to directly go to where Ragnaros is, and Ragnaros will be spawned. Then for the 2 following mounts, the Drake of the North Wind that will drop from the dungeon, the Vortex Pinnacle, and also the Drake of the Southwind, you will need to go to Uldum, so just take this portal. And then from there, you can directly fly to the Vortex Pinnacle, which will be in the Citadel in the clouds. And then you will have the entrance of the Throne of the Four Winds right here, also in the clouds. Then for the Vitreous Stonedrake, you will need to go to Deepholm, so you can either take the portal or you can also use the Potion of Deepholm, as I already mentioned. And here you will be teleported directly in this zone. And then you just want to make your way to the Stonecore dungeon. And inside this dungeon, you will be able to kill the Slabhide boss, and you will be able from him to get this really cool mount. And remember that then you can go back in the middle of this area and you will have a portal to either Stormwind or Orgrimmar. For the two mounts from Zul'Gurub, the Armored Razashi Raptor and the Sweet Zulian Panther, my best recommendation is again to go in the Legion version of Dalaran to use the portal to Karazhan that is located in the portrait room in the center of the city, and then from there you can simply fly to the entrance of the instance. So this is something normally that is very simple. And here, just a reminder, the Armored Razashi Raptor will drop from the Bloodlord Mendokir, and then the Panther will drop from the High Priestess Kilnara. And you don't need to kill any of the other bosses, you can directly make your way to the first boss, Mendokir, and then after that you will be able to go directly to where Kilnara is located inside of her little temple. So this is really easy and you can just go kill these two bosses and leave. Then for all three mounts from the Dragon Soul raid, which was the last raid from Cataclysm, you want to go in the portal room. And here you want to click on the portal to the Caverns of Time. And then when you are in the Caverns of Time, you want to go inside and you want to go in the main area where there are all the different entrances to all these different dungeons and raids. And here, as you can see, you want to go right on this path and you will be able to find the entrance right here in front of you. So the first mount will drop from Ultraxion, which is one of the boss in the middle of the raid, and this is the Experiment 12B. And then the two other mounts will drop from Deathwing, the Madness of Deathwing. So if you're doing it in normal difficulty, you will only have a chance of getting the Reigns of the Blazing Drake, and in heroic difficulty, you will have a chance to also get the Lifebinders and Maiden Reigns, and both of them can drop at the same time, so I would encourage you to do it in heroic difficulty. After that, for the Clutch of Jikun mount, as well as the Spawn of Oridon from the Throne of Thunder, you will need to make your way to the Tonlung Steps in Mistoponaria. And here you will need to do a few quests in order to unlock the Isle of Thunder. And once this is done, as you can see, you will have this portal right here for Alliance players. And then you will also have the version right here for all players. And you can just click on it in order to access the Isle of Thunder. And when you are here, you can just go right here and you will be able to access the raid. And of course, on your way, you will have Narak, so if you don't have the mount from Narak, I would recommend you to also kill him if he spawned. And these different mounts will drop in both heroic and normal difficulty, but I would recommend you to do it in 25 mode heroic. Then for the reigns of the Astral Cloud Serpent, you will need to go in the Mogushan Vaults, and this mount will drop from Elegon. And so here the entrance is at this exact location in the Kunlai Summit, and as you can see, you will need to come on this little platform in order to find the entrance. So it is right here in the mountain. And this mount will also drop in heroic, normal, 10 mode or 25 mode, but I would recommend you to do it in 25 heroic mode or 25 normal mode. Then for the Kor'kron Juggernaut, you will need to go in the Siege of Orgrimmar, and the mount will drop from Garrosh's Scream only in Mythic difficulty. And here, the entrance of the raid will be in front of the Mogushan Palace in the Vale of Eternal Blossom. You might want to come and talk to Zidormi at this exact location right here in order to make sure that you are in the past time, and like that you will be able to actually access the entrance, which as you can see is located right here. And remember that once you are inside of the raid, if you've already killed Garrosh, you will be able to click on the Scroll of Past Deeds and like that you will be able to be teleported just in front of Garrosh, so it makes it very easy for you to do this farm. After that, we have the Felsteel Annihilator that will drop from Archimonde from the LFR Citadel raid in Mythic difficulty. So here for you, the easiest way to go to this raid is to go to your garrison, and then you want to take the portal that will lead you to Ashran, either on the Alliance side or the Horde side. And when you arrive in Ashran, in the middle, you will have this portal that will allow you to go to the Tanaan jungle. And as you can see, once you are in the Tanaan jungle, you just want to make your way to the entrance of the raid, which is right here in the middle of the map. And here I want to remind you that if you've already completed the skip quest from this raid, you will be able to get these different portals at the entrance, and these will allow you to go on the upper floor and also to go directly at Manoroth, so just before the last boss, Archimonde, so it might be very useful if you are farming the mount. And all you have to do is to pick up the quest from Khagdar, and Khagdar then will ask you to kill 4 weeks in a row the different bosses from each of the different wings in order to then unlock these different portals. And the one that you will need to take is the one on the right side. It will lead you to Manoroth. Then for the Ironhoof Destroyer mount, which is this really cool and massive mount right here, you will need to kill Blackhand in Mythic difficulty from the Blackrock Foundry raid. So here, one of the easiest way to go to the location of the raid is to use the Wormhole Centrifuge toy, again, that I already mentioned. And so here you will have the portal that will spawn, and you want to go on Primal Forest. And as you can see, it will teleport you to Kor'kron, and this is where there is the entrance of the raid. So you will be just next to the raid. Just make sure to survive the fall, but at least you are really just next to the raid when you do that. Inside of the Blackrock Foundry raid, you will also be able to unlock a skip that will allow you to go directly to Blackhand. So here, when you will have killed the Iron Maiden, you want to make sure to go in this little secret spot and pick up the quest that will allow you to then complete the 4 weeks of killing all the different bosses and everything in order to then unlock the skip. Then after that, for the Living Infernal Core and the Fendish Hellfire Core, you will need to kill Gul'Dan in the Nighthold. So the Fendish Hellfire Core will only drop in Mythic difficulty, but as you can see, the other one will drop in any difficulty other than LFR. So just something for you to remember. Here you want to come at this exact location, and then you want to make your way down. So you want to go on either side and step on these little teleporters, and then you want to continue and go even more down this way, and at some point you will be able to go down some stairs and you will be able to click on the gate, and there is the entrance of the raid right there. Here again you want to make sure to pick up the quest for the skip from Khagdar, and then when you're inside, once you've unlocked the skip, you will be able to have this main door that will open as soon as you step in. And with this, you will be able to go directly to Elisand, which is the second to last boss. And then like that, you will be able very easily to go and kill Gul'Dan. And you want to click on the Night Spire right here. After that, for the Antoran Char'un and also for the Shackled Urzul, these two mounts will drop from Antorus the Burning Throne. So the Antoran Char'un will drop from the second boss in the raid, and as you can see, this one will drop in any difficulty, including LFR. So I would recommend you to do this raid also on LFR. Here you just want to do the first wing for the Antorus raid, and then obviously the Shackled Urzul will drop only in Mythic difficulty from Argus, the last boss. So here again, I would recommend you to try and get the Wormhole Generator Argus. It will teleport you randomly anywhere in Argus. The one thing that is good is that usually, even if you're not in the right part of the map, as you can see, you will be sometimes close to these different destiny points that will allow you to teleport yourself not too far from the raid. Otherwise, the easiest way is for you to use your Dalaran Earthstone or take the portal to Azuna and go to Dalaran, and here at this location, you want to click on the Lightforge beacon. So again, you will need to have done already the quest line in order to unlock Argus. And then as soon as you arrive, you want to go straight in front of you to this little console right here. And you just want to click on this exact location, the Ops Landing. And then from there, you can easily make your way to the raid. Here again, there is a raid skip available. But first, you will need to defeat the first boss, the Garroty Worldbreaker. Also, if you still don't have the mount from the Felhound of Sargeras, you will need to go and kill these different bosses right here. But then, if you already have this mount, you can go and use this Lightforge beacon. And here you want to go to the Burning Throne. And as you can see, you will directly arrive in front of the Coven of Shibara, and you can directly go to Agramar. And then after killing Agramar, you will be able to use the portal to go to Argus. Then for the Abyss Worm mount, you will need to get it from Mistress Sazin, and here again it will drop in any difficulty, so I would really recommend you to also do it in LFR. So the entrance of the Tomb of Sargeras raid will be right here in the Broken Shore. Again, you can just make your way to Dalaran and then fly directly to the Broken Shore. And here basically you'll need to kill the first boss, then the second boss, then you want to come back right here and there's gonna have like basically a big gateway that will be open. You want to take this and you will need to kill this overboss Arjatan, and then as soon as you kill him you can jump right there in the water and then you want to make your way to Mistress Sazin. So it's pretty easy to do. After that, for the Glacial, Tidestorm, and also the GMOD mount, you will need to go in the Battle of Dazar'alor raid from BFA. The Glacial Tidestorm will only drop in Mythic difficulty from Jaina, the last boss, but GMOD will drop in any difficulty from the I Tinker Mechatorque, and in LFR it will drop from Jaina. So here the entrance for Horde players will be right here next to the main capital city Dazar'alor. And then for Alliance players, it will be in their capital city at this exact location. Here, I really want to remind you that if you've already defeated Jaina in Mythic difficulty, as soon as you will enter the raid, you will be able to talk to Otoy for all players. And as you can see, you will be able to arrive directly on the ship where Jaina is and to start the fight directly. And then for Alliance players, it will be this guy, Ensign Roberts, who again will be at the entrance of the raid. And remember, these different NPCs will only be available or present in Mythic difficulty. After that, for the Mummified Raptor Skull, you will need to defeat Dazar, the first king, in Mythic difficulty inside of King's Rest. And the entrance to this dungeon is located right here in Atal Dazar. So again, for all players, just make your way to the main capital city and fly right here. And for Alliance players, you want to use the adventurer boat in order to get to Zandalar and to Zuldazar and then fly right here. Here again, I would recommend you to use the different wormhole generators in order to just go very easily to the different continents. And also, even though it's random, it will usually advance you to probably where you want to go. So that's another tip for you to remember. After that, we have Shark-based favorite crackers from Arlan Sweetie in Mythic difficulty from the dungeon Freehold. So here, if you are playing on an Alliance character, it's going to be pretty simple. You want to go from Boralus and just fly right here in the Triggered Sun zone. And if you're playing on a Horde character, you want to go and talk to the Admiral on your adventure boat. And you want to click on Set Sail for the Tiragard Sound. Again, you will need to do all the different pre-quests and everything in order to unlock this. And here I want to remind you that you can actually go directly to the end boss. You don't need to kill any of the other bosses or trash mobs. So just follow this exact path as you can see. And normally in just 1 or 2 minutes you will be able to arrive to the last boss, and then you just want to defeat this boss to get the mount. Then for the Ny'alotha Alseer, you will need to kill N'Zoth the Corruptor in Mythic difficulty inside of the Ny'alotha raid. So the entrance to the Ny'alotha raid is a little bit tricky. Basically, sometimes it will be in the Vale of Eternal Blossoms and sometimes it will be in Uldum. And here, in order to access it, you will need to have unlocked the different visions of Ny'alotha and this type of things. Because as you can see, this is only at that moment that you will be able to see the different assaults. And this raid will be available when there is the assault of the Black Empire. And it will be either for the whole week in the Vale of Eternal Blossoms or for the whole week in Uldum. So again, here you want to make sure to talk to Zidormi, who is located right here in the Vale of Eternal Blossom. And in Uldum, this mob will be in the main town Ramakan, and it will be here, as you can see, with the icon on the map. And then basically you want to make your way to the entrance of the raid. As you can see, it will be on top of this floating foundation right here. And then you just need to enter and kill Ny'alotha. And here again, you will be able to pick up the quest at the entrance in order to unlock the skip that will allow you to go directly to the carapace of Ny'alotha. So definitely something you might want to do. For the Mechagon Peacekeeper, normally this is from the Operation Mechagon dungeon, but sadly right now it's not available because the current season include this dungeon as one of the Mythic Plus option, but it includes the second part of the dungeon, and so you won't be able to farm this mount during this month. And you also have the Ariel Unit R21X from the same dungeon, but this one is already a guaranteed drop if you do the hard mode, and so not something that normally is going to really change during the month. I will share a link to a full guide in the description if you are interested. And these dungeons are in Mechagon, so here normally you will need to go to Mechagon in order to have access to the dungeons. So once this season of Mythic Plus will be done, you can go right here as you can see, and you will be able to enter the Operation Mechagon. Then while you are in Zandalar, there is also the Underrot Krog Harness that will drop from the Unbound Abomination in Mythic difficulty from the dungeon Underrot. So here it will be in Nazmir this time. And as you can see, when you are at this temple, you want to go down this direction right here, and you will be able to find the entrance to the dungeon right here. And here again, this is another one of these dungeons where basically you can just directly go to the last boss. So as you can see again, you just want to follow this path. You don't care about the mobs because they will reset anyway once you go to the last room, and you don't need to kill any of the other bosses. And then the only thing you need to do really is kill the 3 mobs that will be in front of the main gate. And once this is done, normally the gate will be open. Then you will be transported at the bottom in this other room. And then here you will have the last boss that you can just kill. And like that, you will have a chance at getting the mount. So this is another very easy one to farm. And you can talk to Princess Talnaji when you're done in order to be brought back in front of the dungeon. Then for Shadowlands, you will be able to take the portal to Oribos in the 2 main capital cities. First, we have the Sanctum Gloomcharger's Reigns and the Vengeance Reigns from the Sanctum of Domination. So this one will drop from the third boss, the 9, and this is a mount that will drop in any difficulty, including LFR. So again, I would encourage you to do this in LFR difficulty as well. And then Sylvanas will drop the Vengeance Reigns only in Mythic difficulty. In order to go to the raid, you want to go on top of the last floor in Oribos. So here, as you can see, when you arrive, you will be able to click on these different ring to transference. And when you're here, you just want to jump into the Maw. So here again, you will need to have already unlocked the Maw in order to access to this zone. And then when you arrive, you will need to go right here, and the entrance of the Sanctuary of Domination will be in this part of the map. And normally there is a raid skip that is also available in this raid, so you will need to do the quest again that you will pick up at the entrance of the raid. And with this skip, when you will kill the first boss, you will be able to be teleported to Kel'Thuzad. You will have a portal that will spawn, so this is pretty useful as well. Then for the Fractal Cipher of the Zeret Overseer mount, you will need to kill the Jailer in Mythic difficulty from the Sepulchre of the First One's raid. So here again, from Oribos, you want to make your way to the top floor, and here you will have the portal to Zeret Mortis. Again, you will need to have already unlocked the zone in order to access it. And once you arrive as you can see, you will be able to use your flying mount in order to go right here on this floating island, and the entrance will be just there. And if you haven't unlocked flying in Zereth Mortis or in Shadowlands, you will be able to use these teleporters right here. And here again, there's gonna have a raid skip available, so just make sure to pick it up from Highlord Bolvar for Dragon at the entrance of the raid. After that, we have the Marrowspang's Reigns from Naltor the Rhymebinder from the Necrotic Wake in Mythic difficulty. So here you will need to go to Bastion, and the entrance will be at this exact location. So you can take, for instance, the Flightmeister in order to go to Hero's Rest. Right here again is located on the top floor of Oribos. But I would here really recommend you, if you can, to use engineering and especially to use the wormhole, because you can decide where you go, and so this is something that will make it so much easier for you to go from one point to another in the Shadowlands. Finally, for the Cartel Master's Gear Glider, you will need to kill Sole in the Tazavesh, the Veil Market dungeon in Mythic difficulty. So here you will need to first unlock the dungeon. You will have to do a few quests inside of Oribos with the brokers, and then as you can see, you will have access with the Flightmaster to Tazavesh. And finally, you will arrive at Tazavesh, and so here you will have the entrance of the dungeon just here as soon as you arrive. So that's pretty much it for today's video. I really hope this guide will help you get all the mounts that you need from these different dungeons and raids during the month of July. Please let me know in the comments if you have any questions. I will be back very soon with more guides and more videos, and in the meantime I wish you all a great day. Bye!